Hello you sensual slimes, Jim Sterling here, and this is Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe and the Blight Below. That is a ridiculous subtitle. Anyway, this is a crossover between the lovely Dragon Quest series and Dynasty Warriors. I've been kind of excited about this one for about a year. It was announced a little over a year ago, and I've been giddy with it. Giddy with it? I meant to say giddy with anticipation for it. That's a lot of words to forget from a sentence. Ever since it was announced. I'm a fan of Dragon Quest. I like those games quite a bit. And of course I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors. This is well known. So here we are. Just this is a tension attack. As they like with Hyrule Warriors, they've carried over a lot of stuff over from the core, like the original base game it's licensed from, it's based on, and added it into a hack and slash world. So tension, which is a concept from Dragon Quest, where characters sort of build up their tension and then can unleash, you know, powerful attacks and stuff, is in here. This replaces their Muso system. You build up a tension gauge, then you unleash the tension, and all of your attacks are strong and you're invincible, and you can spend all that tension in one big devastating blast, like we saw with Alina there and the Fireball. We'll show off a few of those as well later. Now, enjoy this video while you can. I don't know exactly what the ramifications are for me putting it up here. As you can already see in the corner, there is a copyright notice, which has been added unbidden to automatically to everything recorded on my device. I dealt with this with the Samurai Warriors review as well. That was on the screenshots I took for my review on the Jimquisition.com. There were copyright logos plastered on it. So whether it's a Koei or a Square Enix thing at this point, who knows? But as you can see, this is copyrighted to Armour Project, Bird Studio, Koei Tecmo Games and Square Enix. All of those rights are reserved. Don't worry about that. And also, of course, quite famously, if you look at the live streaming notice that's in the game, I'll show a picture of it here, Square Enix have put in a handy little note just telling people that they can't stream this game unless it's on certain channels and it's not for commercial purposes. Just basically telling Let's Players and other type of people to basically fuck off. Which is a little bit alarming, and I guess part of the reason why I'm putting this up, apart from the fact that I was gonna...
Were my powers sufficient to our needs?
Yeah, you did great, mate. Anyway, so I was just reinforcing him positively. Anyway, so what was I saying? Right, so I'm testing the water here. Obviously, I wanted to do a Dragon Quest Heroes video anyway, because as I said, I'm excited about the game. It's quite a good game so far. I've been enjoying playing it quite a lot, and I'll talk about the game itself in a minute. But another reason why I want to put this video up, of course, is to just see exactly what I can get away with, whether or not Square Enix will go so far as to hit me with a DMCA copyright takedown strike. I'm going to guess they're going to content ID it regardless. So I don't expect to make any money off this video whatsoever, which is fine, you know. It's more important to me to get the videos up and talk about the games I want to talk about and the situations involving those games than any ad revenue or whatever. But at the same time, I do want to see if they take it further than that. I want to see exactly... Because the policy that they have, if you go back and pause and read that policy, it's somewhat vague. Like, it doesn't... I don't know exactly what the ramifications are. Either way, it seems like total bullshit. Let's just get that out of the way. But we'll see. I'm really not happy about it. That kind of stuff is just... With it already being bad PR to try and stamp down on people doing Let's Plays and reviews. I mean, you know, where does this leave video reviews and stuff? I don't know. But, you know, it's already bad PR to do that kind of stuff. So to see Square Enix doing it, especially when they've been good about streaming with things like Final Fantasy XIV and stuff like that, it's just really sad to see, you know. But to the game itself, I have been enjoying it quite a bit. Obviously, the combat is... the combat at its core is that Dynasty Warriors hack and slash button mashy stuff. But you might be able to tell from the footage I really like playing with Alina. She's got really nice, powerful, punchy attacks. Anyway, as you can see, you can cast spells while playing. You hold down a shoulder button and then hit a corresponding square. That was a dick move.
It is a cannon box.
And in that way, it blends Dynasty Warriors with Dragon Quest in a way that even the other things like your Gundam Warriors and your One Piece and your Hyrule Warriors haven't done. And this is carried on further. There's a hub world where you can undertake almost like Monster Hunter-esque missions, you know, gathering supplies and turning them in. There's a lot of RPG-ness to it. And a lot of authentic stuff. You know, you save your game at a chapel, like in the good old days. You go buy equipment from a shirtless blacksmithy dude with the helmet, with the horns. Like, it's very authentic in that regard. And it's just carried on in the gameplay in a way that I find quite clever. You see there, I summoned that imp, that I was going to call it imp, the mimic chest. I forget the actual official, you know, the Dragon Quest punny name and all that for it. But when monsters die, they may drop a monster medal. You pick up the medal, you can see under my character name, under Aurora here, you can see the glowing knight. You basically cast them like summons, and they stick around for a while. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying that, collecting different monsters, and you throw them down. Because some of the missions, as you see here with the Yggdrasil route, monsters are coming in to attack that. And so there's an added element of strategy as you lay down, ideally, you collect monster medals and lay them down at strategic locations to keep something protected and fight monsters on your behalf while you go elsewhere. It's a clever idea, I think, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. And it's just fun to bring them out. Not all of them like fight alongside you. Some of them are one-use items. Some of them, you know, you can pick up the heal slime and that'll just heal you. You can pick up things that raise your tension. Pick up things that are just one-use, big attacks. Later on in the video, there's an ogre that is a one-use. They call them savior monsters. And you just summon it and it just smothers the shit out of stuff and then disappears. Here we are fighting this bastard anyway. They're pretty damn tough. They bring these out as a kind of every now and then when they really want to fuck you up. And you see with someone fell. You fight with 4 characters, like forming a party, very much again like a Dragon Quest game. And you can switch at any time, like in Samurai Warriors 4. The threat is past. It's pretty cool. But we're cutting here now because part of the reason why I wanted to do the video was to get some Jessica and Yangus in action. So I didn't think you could have a video on the game without it. So here I'm playing as Jessica. She's got her whip crackle. She does her sexy beam. She's a lot of fun to play with, actually. She might be my favourite character to play with so far. Absolutely kicks the shit out of everything. So this is a side mission, actually. This is a mission where you go and collect. So there are various treasure maps. There's a world map, actually, that you select your missions from. And there are treasure maps that can open up optional objectives. And you basically, a mission like this, you go around the map. It can be a bit tedious, some of these side missions, because the maps are kind of long and windy and maze-like. But the idea is you go around killing the monsters, picking up treasure chests, to eventually get some rare treasure at the end. There's a hustle dance there, heals the characters. You've got an MP bar as well as an HP bar, which refills over time. That governs your spells, like your whip crackles and your sexy beams and all that lot. You can hear from that noise, someone leveled up there, and all of the sound effects and everything are in place. Here we get to play as Yangus. Cool, blimey! A lot of fun. Yangus, of course, one of the most charming characters in all of video game history. I've got a Yangus action figure somewhere in my closet that I bought years ago. So I was a big fan of him. Dragon Quest, is it 8 or 7? I forget the name, the actual number, because I'm an idiot. But, you know, the one with Yangus and Jessica and the Cursed King and all that stuff in it was actually, I think it was the first game in the series to come to Europe, so it's the first game I played. Fell in love with it. So it's got a very special place in my heart, that particular game. And ever since then, I've liked dipping into the series now and then. So yeah, there's a big reason why I spent my first like hour or two or whatever it was with the game just desperately trying to get to unlocking Jessica and Yangus, just because they're the characters that, you know, mean the most to me, as it were. So yeah, haven't read any of the reviews for it so far. I've got a review coming for it myself, you know, when I'm ready. I did ask for a review copy, and they said they had one for me, and then they said they didn't. I actually talk about this on Podquisition, regarding me and Square Enix. Now, I've talked about it in the past. I'm certain, I'm certain I am what I call grey-listed with them. It's where you're kind of blacklisted, but ain't no one gonna tell you it. This is his tension attack here. It's pretty fun. Just let him do that in a second.
Here goes nothing. Axis of evil.
Axis of evil. So that's cool. But yeah, it's been a thing with Square Enix for a while. Actually, what happened was I did a video of that Lara Croft and the Curse of Osiris, or whatever it was. And I mentioned in there that, like, Square Enix have gone very quiet ever since I went independent. And I'm fairly certain they don't want to talk to me anymore. And then someone from their PR side emailed me and said, no, that's not the case. You're cool, we're cool. Let us know if you need reviews for anything. So I did, and I sent them a request for Life is Strange, episode 1. Played it, reviewed it. I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10 or something. I wasn't very fond of it. And ever since then, contrary to popular belief, some people think, oh, it's because you didn't finish the last hour of Final Fantasy 13 or whatever, which is complete bollocks. They don't hold on to grudges that long, unlike some communities on game FAQs. But it was after that that things actually went awry. Ever since then, they said they still talk to me. I sent an email about Life is Strange Episode 2, and it was like, by the time I asked them about it, it was, oh, we've run out of codes. Digital codes, mind you, that they didn't have. And I mentioned on Twitter that they were at capacity for me, which I found rather strange. And, you know, maybe they did run out of digital codes, but when it comes to Dragon Quest Heroes, a Dynasty Warriors game, it's a little strange that I'm not on the list for that, especially when some of the sites that did get review copies clearly don't have the kind of reach I have. Like, I know what numbers I used to get when I used to review for the sites that I used to be reviews editor for, and I am fairly certain I do more views between my videos and my written reviews now than I did then. So I am, even though I'm independent, I'm high profile. So I guess I just find it a bit suspect. And really, more than anything, metal slimes are in it! I did get excited when I saw that. But anyway, it's not like I'm, you know, throwing a wobbler or anything. It's like, if I've got to buy the games, I'm happy to do that. I do that with Konami. I've got the budget for it. I make allowances for games that I've got to buy to review. And I'm lucky enough to have an audience to where, you know, hitting embargo, being first, being early isn't important. It's convenient, and I like to hit embargo and be part of that rush, and because it's fun for me. It's fun to be part of that early conversation, and of course, having that schedule in stone for you is just, it makes your work better. I always feel it makes the reviews better, because you have a timeline you're working by, and you often don't feel as much pressure to get something up. So, you know, it's inconvenient a bit, but I can do it. I did it for this, you know, I bought this game. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to buy any Square Enix game in future. But I would like a confirmation from them. And I actually emailed them because, you know, I do that. Like, I like to be told straight. I'm like, look, is this going to be a thing every time we do? You know, you've got a game coming out. Are you going to be at capacity? Are you going to not have enough copies for me every time I request something? Just tell me, so that I'm not wasting my time when I'm emailing you, you know? Like, the money I spend on the games, I can recoup that loss. The time spent emailing and waiting and getting confirmations that are then reneged on, that's time, and I can't get time back. So just let me know if I'm wasting my time, Square Enix, okay? Just, I did email them, they haven't gotten back to me. I sent them that email like a week ago, and no one got back to me to confirm if that was the case, but I would like to know. So that out of the way, the game I am enjoying, you know, certainly there's no, if I get blacklisted or not, I mean, as you saw with my review of Metal Gear Solid 5, it's not a personal grudge I carry into my reviews, because, well, that would be unprofessional. So, in my honest opinion, and these are still early impressions as it were, because I'm not that far into the game yet, but I've been enjoying it quite a lot, especially now that I have Jessica and Yangus. It's a little bit different from your regular Dynasty Warriors, but that's certainly no bad thing, because there's enough Dynasty Warriors games out there to where different is good in this situation. And I like, it really does feel like, it doesn't just feel like they slapped a Dragon Quest skin over Dynasty Warriors. It really feels like Dynasty Warriors and, I almost said Hyrule Warriors. Dynasty Warriors and Dragon Quest have merged, and this is this odd mutant hybrid of the two, in a good way. So I'm enjoying that quite a bit. I do wish there was, like, horses or mounts, or they did the Hyrule Warriors thing where you speed up after you've been moving for a bit to clear ground quicker. Because a lot of the story missions so far have been quite small, but these side missions, as you can see, long windy paths of nothing, which is a little bit inconvenient. There are some pacing issues so far, like whenever you do a mission you've got to return back to your home base and then strike back out, and after each mission there's like lengthy text dialogue bits. I could do without that. I could do with a sleeker way of being able to maybe just go, if I'm doing like a series of story missions in a certain part of the world map, like, I'd like an option to move straight onto the next mission, you know, rather than keep going back and forth, back and forth. That can be a whole thing. But yeah, that's more Metal Slimes. Excites me every time. But otherwise, it's sleek, it's stylish, the monsters all look good. It's really nice to see the Dragon Quest visuals in a slightly less cel-shaded style. You know, they still have those classic designs, but they've given them obviously more regular polygon-y models and things. The summon system is fun. Here I am just tossing out my own slime there. And they've all got funny pun names and stuff in typical Dragon Quest tradition. I'm just beating up on some slimes here, because why not? But we are about to wrap things up. I can see myself coming to the end of the video. Basically, at this point, you just got to wail on enough monsters until they retreat. And then it's over. There we are. They're fleeing. That's basically what you do in one of these optional treasure side missions, and then the treasure unlocks. What luck! And then you just got to go pick up the 3 chests. And that wraps it up. So that's Dragon Quest Warriors. It's so many words now involved in the whole Tecmo Koei crossover empire. Dragon Quest Heroes, that's what this is. Enjoying it a lot. I'm looking forward to it. I'm expecting a positive review unless something goes disastrously wrong along the way. So I would say that the copyright bullshit, aside, I could recommend it. So that's that.
That's teamwork for you.
Yes, it is, Jessica. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Well now, how could we possibly refuse an invitation like that? We're with you all the way, Your Majesty. So then, where to next?